Big up the Toxic Show. No bus up to a whole dirty girl. Them can't wash plate, can't cook, can't eat. Don't even know how to spell crutches. Wait now.
Hey, Gordon, bump what they want, give them what they need. That's toxic reality, baby. Being a happily married wife of 17 years, I can honestly say I adore and need my man. And more women of today's society need to be reassured it's okay and perfectly healthy to proclaim the same. So keep that content coming.
All right. I think I'm going to say the heck with all this music. Let's just cut right into it and get to it. Yeah. I think we do that. Let's see. Yeah, let's just cut into it. Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. I know my audience is 90% men, 10% women. Probably 80% of the 10% of women are against what I'm talking about. But I'm sure there's quite a bit of fit, fine, feminine women who are enjoying the content, and actually some have messaged me, so ladies, thank you. But big announcement, we've crossed. What's up, Ray Sean? Let's get it. Tonight, we're going to talk about this issue of 20 reasons. I hear so many people talking about exactly, what's the problem with single mothers? What's the problem with baby mothers? I'm going to give you 20, just 20 reasons why you should avoid dating or marrying a single mother. And, but the announcement, we crossed the threshold, over 1,000 subscribers, so thank you all so much for sharing the information. Who am I? Gordon Nathaniel. I'm your host of the Toxic Reality Show, here to bring you all the goodness, conversation. What's going on, Nick Nice, JN, Mr. Flucker, Ray Sean Fluker. But look, I need you to please share the content, tell a couple of your friends. I appreciate the messages on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok. Trying to direct everybody over here, because the more time that I can spend and get this channel to where it is monetized, what does it mean? I can spend more time doing research and getting the data, because this isn't about emotions and about feelings. This is about the data and allowing you, as a successful man or a man who's on his way to becoming successful, to have facts to make the decisions for your livelihood, because choosing wrong can put you in a deal of financial peril. I share and push the channel because we need to know. Amen, brother. Because here's the thing. You want to learn the lesson. You don't want to become the lesson. You understand what I mean? You want to learn the lesson, not become the lesson. So this isn't here about, I'm not here to bash. I'm here to present facts. And when we get those facts, we're able to make informed decisions. So we're here to talk about the 20 reasons. So shall we? 20 reasons why you should avoid single mothers. Let's get into it right now. Starting with our first one, right up. 20 reasons why you should avoid single mothers. Now, my big screen is up top. You probably could see the reflection with the ladies in the back. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that issue, discuss it, and then maybe politic in the chat room. You tell me if I'm wrong or right, okay? So here we go. Do a little bit of readjustment on my screen so I can see everybody. And let's get into it. Number one, ding. They're never available. Now, I'm going to release this as a meme as well with just the 20. But I want to expand on each one. So for those of you who have messaged me and said, exactly what's the problem, let me explain to you why she's never available. Because if anything happens, let's say you've got a date planned, you've got a limo, you've got dinner planned, all of this stuff. The minute the child sneezes, and I'm speaking from experience, child sneezes, oh, we can't go out tonight. Something's wrong with little Johnny. He's not feeling well. It's a sneeze. We got money on the line here. We're planning a date. Okay. 2 hours later, she's jumping, playing with the kid. I've been on the phone, and I'm like, I thought he wasn't feeling well. Well, it was just a bug. Listen, they are never available. Because what do they say? Even those, and the guys, thank you for the screenshots from the dating websites. When those women, the first thing they post is, my mother of 1, 2, 3, 4. My children come first. Swipe. If that's a problem for you, swipe left. They're letting you know from the gate that the child comes first, so she isn't available for you. Between the baby daddy who may piss her off by just saying hello and the children, she's not available. Number two, you will never be priority. And this is a continuation on number one. You're not going to be the priority in life because she says right out the gate, my kids come first. So if she got 3 kids, number 1, 2, 3, the dog, the fish, the baby daddy who pisses her off, and if she got more than one baby daddy, but right now, and then you are number 7 on the list. You'll never be a priority because the dog, the cat, the fish, the kids, and baby daddy at least has priority over you. Next, number 3. The world revolves around her. Everything. What's up, Malik? Everything is a priority for her because she's the epicenter of the earth. And as much as these women love to talk about narcissism, they exhume the very nature of narcissism. It's like a Napoleon complex. Everything is about them. The entire existence, I don't like that. I don't want that. It's like dealing with a petulant child from Willy Wonka factory, the spoiled brat one, who everything she wants is, I want this and I want that. Everything is about them. Never is it about you. And again, gents, thank you for sending me the screenshots of the dating profiles because you see it. What do they say? I want a man to do this for me, pay my bills, rub my feet, tell me I'm pretty even though you're not, tell me I'm skinny and they're obese. All of these things they want you to do, but the guy that they had a child with showed up with Cheetos, half of a blunt, and a beer, and he got to get in there raw dog. But you got to work for it and do all these other things the other guy didn't have to do. Number 4, emotionally unavailable. They can't be there for you. The most simple thing that you want a woman to be in your life is to be a nurturer, be a loving confidant. Look, my job is to sit there and if there's a peep in the night, put my life on the line for this household. I'm supposed to be prepared to die. The reason why you walk on the outside of the street and she on the inside is if a splash should come or some murderistic psycho, you take the bullet, you take the splash. I'm expected to do all these things. And you think that these women would be emotionally there. But instead they insult men. Oh, a man with a cold is the biggest baby. Listen, look at all the responsibility I got. I'm asking you to do one thing, to give a hoot. I don't want to curse because, the algorithm get on me. But that's it. That's number 4. Number 5. Baby daddy lives rent-free in her head. You could be planning the most eventful, calm, peaceful evening. Y'all about to get into it. All it takes is one text. One. All he got to say is, hello. Or, can I speak to my kids? Or, thank you for picking the child up tomorrow. Anything that he has rent-free status in her head to straight jack your relationship. And that's why when I mentioned before, you'll never be a priority, it's because should he decide to just destroy your night and just be, you know, let one of the kids say, I want to talk to my daddy, I miss my daddy, anything, your whole night could be jacked. Because emotionally, she is still triggered to him because she still loves him. She bore his child. Number 6, mutiny from their children. What do I mean by their? Well, the baby daddy and the mother. That's their child. It's not yours. And the child may remind you, you ain't my daddy. But there's mutiny. There's self-destruct in your home. There is plotting against the king going on within the castle. You are not safe. When you have within your castle destruction and dissension being planted, the child saying something like, you're never going to marry my mommy. You ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. You have no authority over me. All of these things are destruction to the program of the king and the leadership they are there to subvert you. And if you call it out, she jumps up to defend who? Not you, them. She's willing to risk it all for them and the baby daddy, but not for you. So you introduce mutiny, a spoiler into your camp that cannot be eradicated. Number 7. The kids hate you. That was number 7. We're on number 8, but kids hate you. Because let's be honest, in the perfect world, little girls want the dream of daddy being their knight in shining armor. Little boys want their daddy because that's their dad. At its most core, are there exceptions where you have some guys that are just pieces of crap? Yes, you do. We're here to talk about the greater average, not the few and far in between, not the exceptions to the rule, but the rule. And by and large, 75, 80% of the time, the children would prefer. Heck, I would. I'm a child of a single parent home. If my dad was to say to me, hey man, I'm thinking about getting back together with your mom, I don't care who she's with. I'm like, hey, there's better options out there. In the ideal dream world, I would rather go home to have dinner with my mother and father than my mommy, my stepdad, my dad, and my stepmom. Sorry, other people, this is the unit. Number 8, the entitlement mindset. This kind of continues on the me. What's up, Lloyd? You can feel the clothes and provide and can't discipline and you can't correct. He is absolutely right. The minute you start talking in my home and under my protection and leadership that I want to instill rules, regulations, and reinforce those with punishment and discipline, no, that can't go. Now here, gentlemen, based on what Lloyd's saying is where we get into the problem. The way we get into a problem is, let's say you have a child with that single mother and the programming of another man's DNA is in another child. Think Russell Wilson, right? Now, his kids are all clean cut, but what happened if future son want to wear dreads and just big gold chains and gold teeth? And his daddy's like, that's my son. That's what he wants to wear. But you're Russell, and you're like, yo, we're kind of clean cut, Caesar fades and nice boy haircuts, and we go to school with our polo shirts and knickers. You know what I'm saying? When that happens now, you have an alternate program. When you think in the computer world, it's a virus inside your computer program. Your program, the way you're leading this ship, there's mutiny and dissension who's messing up with your programming and a distraction. Because now your kids are saying, well, little Ray Ray gets to wear braids and has an Xbox and all of this junk food. Why can't I have the same thing? Now you have dissension in your own home. That is not peace. But this entitlement mindset. And number 8, the entitlement. Once again, it's a continuation of the narcissism, and everything is about her. I'm entitled to, what's the most recent one? The woman said, there was a video going around right now. The woman had been dating the man for 2-3 days, and she went to the Costco or the grocery store and ordered up $200-300 worth of clothing and food and said, you take me out, you got on a couple $100 shoes, you should be paying for stuff for my child. What? We only went out 2 or 3 times, and you expect me to drop $300-400 on another man's DNA and seed? You out your mind? But no, that's the entitlement mindset. She actually fixed her face to say that is his responsibility in exchange for used, worn out retread poom poom. He's supposed to go ahead and pay top dollar. Where she got the stamp, the wrinkle belly on her stomach. The stomach says, Jojo was here, Brad was here, Alejandro was here. He don't need to tattoo it. The wrinkle belly says that somebody already been here, bro. Let's get to number 9. The delusional self-image. Like I said earlier, right? These women are like, I want you to tell me that I'm pretty and I'm the prettiest girl in the world. You want me to lie to you? Now, you might be, you're cute and you're pretty and baby, I think the world of you, but let's not, like, when you overweight and you want me to be like, you're the baddest, most beautiful woman on the world. You're unique. You're one in a million. They're stuck. If you listen to people, you listen to what they say when you're out on a date and you're just even networking, you're talking, you listen to what they say. I'm one of a kind. I'm unique. There's 7 billion people on this planet. There's 150 million plus women in this country. What's so different about you? What make you, you'll never hear me come out of my mouth saying, I'm unique. There ain't no other black man like me. Oh, there ain't nobody else that's bald. No other dudes over 6 feet tall with 10 fingers. There ain't no other men like that. Just me. I'm just unique. Maybe with a name like Gordon Nathaniel, okay. But am I that? No. It's this delusional self-image that they are just like they want the best and the most rare of men. They want 6 feet, 6-pack, 6 figures, all of this provision. And they think that what they bring to the table is the equivalent of all with the glue heads, all of that stuff that they're bringing the equivalent. A man is stepping up fresh face out of the shower, being able to protect, lead, and provide. And if you're asking for him to be good looking, they're asking for a 0.05% type man. And you come to the table with what? Subpar? Average? Let's go to number 10. Always the victim. And here's where we get into it, right? The Lord said, I told the woman, you 5 foot, every man is 6 feet. You need to stop it. Always the victim. And what does that mean? They are never accountable for anything. You ask them what happened in the previous 50 relationships. They just wasn't a good enough man. They wasn't strong enough. They was too weak. They were too weak. They were too sensitive. They were all of these things, but nothing to point the finger at, is there anything you could have done better? Or you were just perfect? Because last I checked, it takes 2 to tango. And for some reason, you decided to, with a man, you push an object inside of a woman. With a woman, you open up your body to allow someone to enter you. You did that on many occasions with this dude. And you're telling me that you just can't pick a good man is what you're saying? So that means if you're picking me, then I ain't a good pick? Or could it possibly be a combination of the two? But I just love how the modern woman is never at fault. Let's get to number 11. This Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality. Lord said they want the 1% lifestyle, but not the 1% man. They want a traditional man, but they don't want to be a traditional woman. Do you understand what it means to be a traditional woman? So if that's not what you want, then get on the 50-50 program. And they're like, I don't need a roommate. But then what do you expect men to do when they grab their passports? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. These people have split personalities. They will flip out because of the trauma from previous relationships. They're not healed. And it's a window into, there is something wrong with this woman. She has a mental psychosis that hasn't been treated. And she went to a therapist that just told her everything that she wanted to hear, but not anyone who really counseled her and said, you might need to look at some of these issues that you have. And that's where the problem happens. Number 12, drama queen. You see, understand the purpose of soap operas. Soap operas back in the 80s, it was a roller coaster, up and down. So-and-so's getting married, then they're cheating, then they're getting remarried, then they married somebody else, but then all of a sudden they saw their ex again, and then they cheated on the person they just married, and then so-and-so died, and they just got a new promotion, but the company's under attack, but I slept with the owner of the company. It's up and down, but so-and-so died, and then they had a baby and we're happy, and then they had a christening, and then somebody else in the family lost their business and they're homeless, and then, I rekindled an old love from high school. It's up and down. They feed off of the drama. That's why they don't like clean-cut brothers, because you just got a job, a 9 to 5. What do they say? They want the hood dude, they want the thug because it's more exciting. They want the drama. They don't want to just have peace. What do we want? Look, I'm willing to bust my tail every day. I just want to come home to a cooked meal, play with my children, peace. I don't want to argue with you, but they want the drama. 13, dating you to make their baby daddy jealous. See, and I've had that, right? Baby daddy wasn't, I'm looking, I see the brother, I'm like, that's what you picked, right? Okay, that's what you let inside you and let this dude nut up inside you, okay. But then she starts bragging to the baby daddy about what I'm doing. Oh, Gordon owns a couple houses and he invests in real estate. And Gordon does this and he's just such a great role model for our son. You're doing this just to torture and mess with this man and his ego to make him jealous because you mad that maybe he cheated on you or he left you and you want to use me as the comparison factor to hurt him. I got better than you. What does the song say? To the left, everything you own. I'll have another you in a minute. A matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. Baby. Even the music reinforces the attitude of you trying to incite the baby daddy, get him angry, and then two bulls got to go head to head and fight. Next, number 14, dishonest. And part of this leads into the dishonesty is the inability to be accountable. They'll lie. Because what, they're going to show you who they really are? Yeah, I took him to child support and got money from him knowing that, he ain't got a job, or I used it just to be hurtful. Yeah, I filed a false police report because I just wanted to anger him because I was mad. Right? Look what's going on with Tyrese. She said that she called the attorneys and she said stuff that she may have said stuff or made decisions is what she said. She made decisions. But it wasn't, she regrets making those decisions. And then Tyrese is like, well, then drop the $20,000 suit, $20,000 a month. Are you going to come up on TV and tell everybody that you regret and lament the decision you made, but then you still in court go through she's like, well, the lawyers have it. You have power. You got the attorneys. You could stop it. You're being dishonest. You're not showing integrity and being real. You lied. So this is where the dishonesty comes in, and they're excused for this dishonesty because I'm a vulnerable woman, victimhood again, right? Here comes number 15. These women carry excessive baggage. And what we mean by baggage is trauma. They say they went to a therapist, but this therapist only reinforced you're beautiful, you're a great woman, you can have any man you want, even if you have 90,000 children, you are better than that and they shouldn't judge you. Your body count doesn't matter, right? So they carry all of this baggage. And here's a statistic. The divorce rate is 50% in this country, right? 80% of those divorces are initiated by women, 90% if she's got a college degree. But wait, there's more. If she remarries the second time, the rate of divorce now goes up to 65% for that couple, and the third time, upward 75%. It's almost guaranteed this relationship ain't gonna last. They are bringing that trauma reinforced by the Derek Jacksons of this world to tell them that they are perfect and okay when they need help themselves. They need a reassessment in understanding men. All of these therapists talk about men becoming emotionally available. They want me to sit on a chair, on a sofa, sit here and talk 40 minutes about a nail sticking in their forehead, as opposed to put the damn nail out, let's get something to eat, have sex, and move on with our dang lives. We got kids to raise. No, you want to spend 2 hours talking about it. What therapy and these psychiatrists don't do is teach women to think as men do. We are solution oriented, but the therapy industry is trying to effeminate men. She's carrying baggage and trauma. I know my job. Provide, lead, protect. Do you know what you're supposed to do as a woman? You're supposed to be my helpmeet. I don't need you to be a boss bee and all of this other nonsense. Get yourself in the gym. Make sure there's something to eat at home while I'm foraging a path for this bloodline. But they're carrying this baggage and trauma. So the trauma that she had from her baby daddy who cheated on her, if he did, or she was just bored and wanted something fresh and new again, drama. They want the excitement. They feed off of that. Like when they post a picture online showing the back of their ass, talking about, I just came out of the gym. Do you like my gym outfit? I mean, you know you want attention and validation, but they haven't posting it, 3,000 men liking it. Oh, I drink your bathwater. Oh, I'd lick your toenails. They know what they're doing. Let's get to the next one, number 16. This one is big, gentlemen. This one is big. When you are with a woman who has another child, this is not your bloodline. Not your bloodline. You could sow into this family, but the question I have for you is, again, let's say you live, your investments, your insurance policy, all that thing comes to mind. You pass away, and they're reading your will out. She got 2 kids with another bloodline, another seed, and you got a child or 2 with her. And there's $500,000 to split. Where should that money go? Should that go to another man's bloodline? Not your last name, not your DNA? Let's take it back to what's pure. What's Nick Nice said, and keep your mouth shut in terms of the house. Don't argue, I want peace. You're right. But let's take it back. Let's look at, okay, so I was looking to see that. Let's look at the wild, because the reason why I like using the wild nature as an example is nature is pure. Here's the thing. A lion, you, the lioness in the jungle, Sahara, when she has a cub or cubs, she leaves the pack and goes off into the forest, into the Sahara, and raises those cubs till they're about 4 to 6 months before she reintroduces them to the pack, to the other women and the other cubs. One, because even playing with stepbrothers and stepsisters can result in death. They could get hurt. 2, you need to make sure whoever the king is still the king of your pack. Because here's the drill and how it goes in the wild. When you, with a new lion, for example, let's say you got your lion and you got your 3 co-wives and y'all got these 20 cubs. And then another young lion comes up to challenge the king of the pack. And if the king loses, the male cubs better run. He will kill them to initiate his bloodline. He ain't sharing kill food, deer, alpaca, whatever they eat. He ain't sharing that with with blood that ain't his DNA. That's how nature is pure. At the same time, when you are with a woman that has a child, another man's DNA, another man's imprint, and some studies suggest that when she conceives that child, the female body, and technically is true, if she's carrying the baby has the DNA of both the mother and the father, and she's connected to the mother through an umbilical cord that has blood. So technically, his DNA is inside her. It's a part of her body. This is deeper, man. It's deeper than just we don't get along. He has an imprint. Not only his child, but his DNA is deep in her brain. This woman has been peed on someone else's territory. She has been marked. So when you think of this, this is not your bloodline, and you pass away. Now, let's say you like, man, these ain't my DNA. I'm leaving this to my child. Then the child's siblings are like, man, that's messed up. You know, your dad, I thought he loved me. He called me son. He called me daughter. He didn't even leave nothing for me. So then what do your kids do? Your kids, out of guilt because of their stepbrothers, cut piece of your offering, your blessing, and leave it to their siblings because, you know, we all blood. Even though we ain't got the same daddy, we all blood. So you compromise the wealth of your future generations because this other DNA is there. You understand how important bloodline is now? This is why this is a difficult conversation. Next, 17. They're masculine. Well, as a single mom, she's now assumed all the roles. Not only is she fit, fine, feminine, those roles that she's supposed to do. She's supposed to cook. She ain't got no problem cooking in. But now she also has to become a leader. That's a masculine role. She has to become a provider. It's a masculine role. And she offers protection. It's a masculine role. So now she's walking in being a dude. And that's why then they become belligerent and argumentative and say and want to fight and argue with you. Right? And that's because she has been forced to become masculine. And she's had to accept that role. And that does nothing to help you. Because with her being all mean, I'm here looking and refreshing the page, you know, by me going ahead, hey, what's up, Daryl, Vin Curry? No, it goes to your child in a trust and split differently, 18, 20, and 25 over the last 3 payments. The therapists are their single friends, Torres. Kimya is cracking up. But you're absolutely right. You could put it in a trust, but you're not there. And the question is, what is your child going to do and say to their siblings, right? When their siblings are, let's say the baby daddy ain't sugar honey iced tea, and they leave this stuff for the baby daddy. You leave it for your child. What is your child gonna do to their sibling? When their sibling is like, man, my daddy ain't trash. He ain't left me nothing. Can you throw me 20 grand out of that $500,000 your dad gave you so I could go ahead and get a car or finish paying off? If they truly grew up in a loving environment, there ain't nothing I'm not going to do for my brother and sister. All right? They're going to do it. But I'm just letting you know this is yet another reason that your legacy will be compromised because now your DNA becomes part of another man's DNA family structure. You are not only blessing your seed, but you're working on somebody else. And some may say, hey, that's okay. I don't have a problem. Edward said, just don't date single mothers. That's where I'm trying to get to the point to, my brother. Mr. Bates, the issue is the question that has been asked of me, that has been messaged to me, what's the big problem with single mothers? And I'm trying to do it. Lawrence said, the psychological profession is a fraud. In fact, they really provide no clear solutions to your issue, only recommendations. Meanwhile, they're entertained with your strife. Right. Because what do you call a girl? A therapist sees a girl with red or blue hair come through the door. Man, that mortgage is paid off. That girl going to be here for 10 years. She got all kinds of issues going on. And you think they're just going to fix it? No, we're going to talk about it hour by week for years. They're incentivized to keep you as a client, not to fix you. So, number 17. We're almost at the bottom of the list. They become masculated because they have to assume all these roles. And then they'll say something like, well, I'll become feminine for the right person. Well, see, now that's conditional. Because even if you're a Christian, it says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, which means when I find you, you're already wife-like. Not because I married you and put a ring on your finger, now you know how to be a wife. I mean, we've all seen Charlie Brown and Lucy hold the ball, and he goes to kick the ball and swoop. So you're saying, oh, I got to marry you for you to treat me like a feminine woman. No, that's conditional. Because I'm expected as a man when I show up to the altar or when I court you, I'm already supposed to be a provider. I'm supposed to exude leadership skills and protection ability. I'm supposed to show up at the table when I see you with all of that going on, that I could do all those things. You should also be wife material, hence why the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Because in a way, you're like, if she's a wife, she's married. But you get what I'm saying? They're saying is that she's exhumed the qualities of a woman and the characteristics of a wife. It's not conditional, she is. All right? That's 17, masculine. 18, financial liability. Okay. I'm on my whiskey. So you step into this relationship. And she says, I make 100, 200 a year, which we know is the exception because the average is more like 45, 50. But let's say she's doing well. She's like, you know what? I'll use an example. Met a woman. Hey, I really want a relationship, Gordon. You're the kind of guy I want to be with. And I'm just like, we're just playing and having fun. I'm not thinking, I told you I don't want a relationship. She says, I make $200,000 a year. And I don't want to be managing money. That's the man's role. I just want to cook, clean, and be happy. And him manage my money. And I'm like, this is interesting. Okay. She's like, I'm just tired of not having money. Red flag. What do you mean by you tired of not having money? You making 200 and you have a kid, right? Yeah, he's in high school. He'll be out of the house. So where's all the money going? 200 a year? Where's all the money going? Your house ain't all that. Well, I pay for him to go to private school. And I'm like, okay, private school is about $50,000, $60,000 a year. Okay. What else? Well, I put money away so that it covers his college as well. So when he graduates from high school and college, he has no debt. I said, so let me understand this right. You coming into a relationship and you asking somebody to manage $200,000 that really doesn't exist because you're spending all of it on another man's seed, not mine, not contributing to our home, not contributing to our future. Instead, you want me to come in and rescue you while you're allowed to take the household money and put it into another DNA outside of the scope of this relationship. But meanwhile, all my assets and income goes towards us. How is that fair? You see, she was dumbfounded by that. Didn't want to hear that. Thought that I'm giving you 200. I said, actuality, no. I said, no, sweetheart, you're not giving 200 of anything. You don't have anything to give because you have decided that all the money you make should go into the child with another man that you had that you said was a one-night stand. That was your call. Because if I were a man and I chose to get with you, because a lot of the things you're saying about being feminine, it's because life beat you into submission. You was strong and independent, but now wife is kicking you in the tail. And you're like, man, I just want to be feminine. I don't want all the responsibility. I want somebody to pick the dinner, what we eating, all of that stuff. Life has beaten her into femininity. That's 18. So the liability, even though she says, a woman can say, well, you don't have to, my kids don't need a daddy. I pay the bills. So you're working, submitting to your boss, because you don't want to submit to me. And the money that you make, once again, is taking care of another man's DNA. And it's not used to build wealth in this house. How would that make sense as a decision for me to make when it's not in my interest, let alone best interest? So they come as a liability. Any number of children. Oh, I have 3 kids. Okay. So if you and I were to ever get married, be together, we have 1 bedroom, and then you got 2 kids, so that's 2 bedrooms. I need a guest bedroom for my mama or even my own child. And then, my own child. So now I got to go find, because I get with you, I got to go buy a 5-bedroom house when I was just fine with a 3. Now I need a bigger car because we got 5 people that got to ride in this. You can't all be in a little mid-sized sedan. Now I got to go buy an SUV. Oh, and now because we got all of this extra square footage, now the heat bill, all of these things go up. The grocery bill. Now we really need a Costco membership because we buying packs of meat, right? The Glenfish or the Johnny Walker. Nah, man, I'm drinking this sweet stuff. What's it called? Some peanut butter whiskey stuff, man. It's like crack, Mr. Bates. Screwball. Whew. Love this stuff. King Tim, what's going on? What's going on? So let's go into Timothy Roberts. Women always fund their priorities first. That is so true. And the priority is another man's seed, because that's her child. And you know what? You can't knock what she's doing. That's beautiful. But I'm going to get to the point of this after the 20 questions on when the exception is the rule. And thank you for tuning in this long. Let's get to number 19, because you are walking into a liability, and that's not even just with the children. If you adopt these kids, and it's slowly getting there where the laws are going to say, because you adopted these children or you operated in the scope of a father, if you divorce her, you're going to have to pay child support on children that ain't even your seed. Whoo! Legal ramifications. 19, increase rate of birth defects. And I've talked about this issue a number of times on the show because, again, for those of you who have helped me to get where I am, it gives me more time to research issues. Statistically, if a woman is 30 years old, the child has a 1 in 1,000 rate of autism. 30-year-old woman, her eggs, because they've been in her for 30 years plus 9 months, 30 years, the chance of autism is 1 in 1,000. A 40-year-old woman, Google it if I'm lying, Google it. A 40-year-old woman, the rate of autism in the child is 1 in 100. You go from 1 in 1,000. Every year, it drops 100. Till inevitably, when she is 40 years old and you're like, you're beautiful, your body's killing, you look great, let's have a child together. The chances of that child being Down syndrome and autistic, but specifically I'm speaking of autism, 1 in 100 at 40. So 19, the increased rate of birth defects applies, depending on, of course, the age of the woman. If she's under 30, okay, she still got fresh eggs. And you stepping in with 1 or 2 kids, she still got fresh eggs. But at over 30, that risk goes up every year. You meet her at 35, y'all take about 2 years to kind of figure this out. She's 37, and you decide to pop it inside her, and you roll in the dice. When that autism comes out, you got nobody to blame but yourself. They're like, my girlfriend is 42 years old, and she's had children. Y'all are selfish. Do you know the risk? If you knew the risk, women would say, look, over 30, not doing it. No kids. I can't. I don't want to do it to you, brother. I don't want to give you a bad egg. I love you enough that I don't want to do that to you. But if that's something you really want to do, but they're selfish. Why? We go back, they lie, dishonest. And finally, number 20. This is a big one. Body count. This is the holy grail. Let's say, ever notice how women never disclose genetic disorders but always ask the man about theirs? So that is true. Because, and I've had a woman, I made a little Facebook short, and I talked about that, and they were like, you're a liar. My girlfriend, hey, just because she had a kid doesn't mean it was a good egg. If you went to the store and it said the eggs expired November 30th and today is the 3rd, would you buy it? Would you take the risk of you crack that egg open and it smells like rotten eggs and still eat it? You are gambling. Trying to see into the future, Renato said, how will the life be after their breeds? Body count. Let me get to this. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the exception to the rule, and then we can cut. Body count. And again, thank you for showing up. I need you to like and subscribe. I need you to share this with your friends who are dating a single mother and beyond hit it and quit it, smash and dash, but actually fell in love because she done put it on him good, because she knows what to do to hook you. She knows what to do to hook you. All the stuff that she didn't do for her baby daddy, she's doing for you to hook you. Hook you. Look, everybody knew half of the NFL and NBA was passing around Kim Kardashian, right? Kanye ran up in her. His mama was gone. He was vulnerable. And he saw that pretty, I ain't gonna lie, girl's beautiful. He saw that pretty face in the middle of the light with the candle going. She came up from being down low, and he was like, man, I'm in love with this girl, but man, that's why it's dangerous. They know what to do. She knows her reputation. He made her honest, put a ring on her finger and made her a wife. He thought everybody was going to forget about that until her 5-year-old saw the video with Ray J. I hit it first. But anyway, body count. Statistically, this is important. If a woman has had over 10 sexual partners, the risk for your relationship is 80%. If she's had over 10 sexual partners, there's an 80% chance that relationship ain't gonna work. If she's had less than 5, the rate is 20%. If she's had 1, it's like single digits. Why? Because she emits a chemical. It's a bonding agent. Oxycontin. Is that the right one? Oxytocin? I always mix them up. She emits a chemical during sex, at orgasm. It's a bonding chemical. Doesn't even know it, but all of a sudden she bonds to you. She's synced with you at this point. She's breathed your oxygen. I had a 80-year-old woman tell me one time, she said, back in the day, we knew how a woman was cheating. And I said, how did you know? She said, when a woman has sex with a man, her clock shifts. When it's a man outside of the man she's normally with. She said when she's laying on her back with her legs open and he's breathing into her, it causes her clock to shift. Man, there's stuff that we don't know about the human body that is so deep. But she was like, because the first thing she said to me, your girl's cheating on you? I said, I don't know. She's like, when's her period? I was like, who pays attention to that? She said, brother, you should know. That is very important. That's a telltale giveaway. One of 3 things you should look for. But if that clock shifts and a couple other things play out at the same time, she having sex with somebody else. Body count. The higher the body count, the higher the risk. You are risking your life, your finances, your future, and above all, your peace. Because of the body count. It matters, and it's the holy grail for women. If she tells, whatever number she tells you, multiply it by 3. It's like the federal government. We cutting 3 million, they're cutting 10. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to that. Body count matters. So when you hear these idiots talking about, oh, Gordon, why would you want to be with a 20-year-old, 25-year-old? When you add all these 20 items up, you come to the idea and the resolution that the older they are, the more the trauma, the more the body count. When she says she breaks up with her man and she's going to find her peace, she's going to get her whole phase in. And she's going to bump that body count by 5. One night stands to celebrate the divorce, a couple this here, a couple lonely nights there, and then they're getting run through on every dating site. It's a kid in the candy store. And now her body count is over 10, and every time she meets you, she's comparing you to 10 other dudes. And of course, you were her best. You were better than everyone else. You were larger, you lasted longer, everything. You think she's gonna tell you, well, it was so-so. Brad, Tyrone, and Alejandro ran a threesome on me, and all 3 of them was longer than you. You think she's gonna tell you that? Mm-mm. She knows your ego is fragile. She gonna tell you what you want to hear. That she ain't never been with no other man. That it wasn't like the connection that she has like she has with you. She gonna call you a king. You're my king. They don't know loyalty, man. So, now for the ladies, thank you, Troy. Oxytocin. Appreciate it, brother. So here's the issue. I gave you 20 reasons why you shouldn't, why you should avoid single mothers. And I gotta admit, like the ladies say, there's an exception to every rule. Have some people been successful being with baby mamas? Yes. Have some couples worked? Yes. The exception has applied. But what I'm telling you is if you meet a woman and you're deciding that, man, she ain't like everybody else, man, and I'm gonna marry her. I swear, every time I see a guy post online about he's getting married, I'm like, man, another one bites the dust. Another homie gonna crash and burn in 5 years, poor thing. Man, and all the women are like, yes, you secured the bag, you're so, and I'm just like, why? It's a piece of paper. Why marry in the United States? Go to another country because the court is going to tear you a new one. So anyway, there are exceptions to the rule. But that exception better be able to answer those 20 reasons why I shouldn't. She better to say why she won't be available. Why she will prioritize you. Understand that what I didn't say earlier is this. The Bible says, and I'm going to use a lot of Bible references, whether you believe in Christianity or not, it's a great manual of how to lead your life. And there's some great rules in there. And the Bible talks about, a husband and wife cleaving one to another. It doesn't say we're going to cleave and them kids. It says husband and wife cleave one to another. In other words, you can make more kids. If you were married to that woman and she had no kids, and here's one for you. If you were married to her and y'all had no kids, and then you decided to have kids, would she prioritize you? The answer is yes. But because you're a stepdaddy, you get the title husband, but you don't get the treatment husband. That's messed up. You all in, and you all in on the betting table, and she's not. Will she make you a priority? Because if we had these 2 children, these 3 children, this child together, you would put me as priority. You wouldn't tell me to go reach out to my son or my daughter because they're upset. You'd be like, go talk to your daddy. But with a stepfather, what do? Almost every stepfather I've spoken to, I ask that question. When the child's mad, the woman tells him to get on his knees and damn near give the child a blowjob. So what does the child do? She turns the child into a narcissist because the child is used to a grown man getting on his knees begging for their acceptance. As opposed to you go to the man and apologize. No. When you're the stepdaddy, you got to grovel to the child. So is she willing to do that? She's going to make you a priority. Is she going to say the world doesn't revolve around you, it revolves around us? Is she going to be emotionally available for you? Look, I had a hard day at work. I just need you to rub me on the back of the head, make me some porridge, a freaking turkey sandwich, something. Baby, I'm going to set a tub for you on your way home. I'm going to make sure I'm there for you. I got you. You rest, my king, and go out and fight another day tomorrow. I got you. I know you could do it. Just because you lost a job, just because you lost a contract, just because something didn't work out. I believe in you, honey, and I know you're my king. And if anybody could get it done, it's my man. He gonna get it done. Are you gonna do that for me? 5, baby daddy lives rent-free. Listen, we ain't talk in this bedroom. When you and I are in this home, his name is not to be mentioned at the dinner table. I will not permit the children to be talking about him at the dinner table. It is only about this family in this house because you are my king. Number 6, mutiny. Nah, I ain't gonna tolerate that. I'm going to pull my kids to the side and say to them, this man pays the bills around here. This man is the leader of this house. You gonna listen to this man. Don't worry about me. What he says goes. Is she gonna do that? Number 7, if the kids hate you, look, if you don't accept this man as he has been ordered by God to be my husband, then you can leave and go live with your daddy. Number 8, entitlement mindset. No, it ain't about me, it's about us. 9, delusional self-image. Listen, baby, honey, she got to be able to say, listen, I've gained a couple pounds here and there and I'm not looking my best, baby. Would you come to the gym with me and help me to get it right? I need your advice. Do you think I should go to a gym? Do you think I should get some implants put in? What do you want? What could I do to look good in your eyes? And I'm not going to take no offense because I know I'm over my body weight, but what could I do to please you, my king, to make sure that I'm taking care of making you number one? Tell me exactly how I am, and that's a holy grail for these women. You tell them anything contrary to what they believe as them being a 10, and they're ready to drag you. 10, I'm not the victim. I've done things that I'm not proud of. I cheated on my baby daddy. I did this to him. I took the money and did stuff for myself. I went out with my girlfriends. There's things that I could have done better that I learned being a grown woman now that I should have done for my husband that I didn't. I should have cooked for him. I should have cleaned for him. I should have pressed his pants. I should have done anything. I could have read a recipe online. There's so many things I could have done to make our relationship better, and I was selfish. This man went out every day, got up at 6 in the morning, braved racism, the world, the weather, whatever it was, came back, paid the bills, and all he asked for was a little bit of comfort. Because as a woman, you should know that if a man doesn't, statistically, if you don't orgasm 4 times a week, then your rate of prostate cancer is increased by 30%. So even though I'm sick and I don't feel good, honey, I'm going to blow you, I'm going to jerk you off, I'm going to have sex with you because I need to keep you around, because as a wife, if you don't come 4 times a week, I've increased your percentage of getting prostate cancer by 30%, and then they be the first ones running off online talking about, he can't even get it up at 60. Did you do your part? Number 11, is she, where am I at? Jekyll Hyde, am I going to go ahead and control my attitude? I ain't going to raise my voice at you. I'm going to respect you. Forget love. I don't want you to love me. I want you to respect me. Respect me. You going to do that? I'm going to check myself. If you use the code word pineapple, it means check yourself. Go in the room and go find God and start praying or something because you're out of line. You going to do that? 12, I'm not going to bring no drama in our household. I want peace in this house. As a matter of fact, I'm painting peace on the front door of the wall, so everywhere I go, I'm going to tattoo peace on my forehead. Even when I look in the mirror, I'm going to see peace. Because that's what that's the currency of that household is peace. I got war going on outside of this house. I don't need war in my own home. I promise to you I will bring peace. 13, I'm not, look, baby daddy's irrelevant. 14, I will not lie to you. Now, you can't prove that. I'll lie detector this relationship. Right? They got an app. that you could talk to somebody and it senses that it's just like taking the dang the polygraph test. It asks you to say 10 statements, and then you put the phone down, and as they talk, you could tell if they're lying. They got an app for that. You lie to me, it's 10 strokes with that paddle, girl. I'm a Phi Beta Sigma member, so pull that dang paddle out. Get in the cut, girl. You lied? Oh, heck. Number 14, you're going to leave that drama outside of this house because if you really want this relationship to work, we can't have it in the household. 16, she got to be able to say to you, look, man, I know this ain't your bloodline. I know these ain't your kin. And I'm asking you a lot. I'm asking you to come in and take care of somebody else's lions and raise them up. And they could potentially attack me when I'm old and vulnerable and kick me out of everything that I built. I know what I'm asking you. Is she willing to understand your perspective? 17, there's only one man in this house, only one captain of this ship, and that's me. She got to be able to say, I know my place and my role. I submit unto you. You the king, you the Don Dada. It's your world. I'm just a squirrel in this buck. 18, I will not be a financial liability. All my earnings and whatever will be turned over to this household to determine what we're going to do. There will be no preferential treatment with any of my children. I ain't putting in for no college fund. I'll help with high school. They can go to a charter school, but this money is for this house. If he go to private school, all the kids got to go to private school. I'm going to take my money and pay for your kids too. 19, increased rates of you can't do nothing about it. If she's over 30, there's jack she could do. So you better pray that you don't want to have kids because roll the dice. Finally, body count. Another thing you can't do. She ain't going to tell you. But then when y'all are done, she's going to be like, yeah, and I know I lied to you, but I really slept with 100 dudes. And you're like, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have made this decision. So anyway, Ronaldo saying straight to the facts. J. Cole Malik said the same thing. Nick Nice, truth. The Bible will keep you straight. We make we make these mistakes and they come back and bite us in the ass because we don't heed the warning. I'm going to get back to it. Learn the lesson. Don't be the lesson. There's so many options out there. That's why they're so threatened by the Passport Brothers movement. Because there's so many options. You don't have to put up with this, brother. And for the sisters that are willing to answer those 20, that's what's up. Because I know some of y'all exist, but you have to understand from the man perspective what you are asking him to do. You're asking him to lay it all on the line for you. To be completely vulnerable and get destroyed in a court system that is unfair to him. Would you tell your own son to date you? And either way, you're wrong. Yeah, I would tell him to date me. I'm a good woman. You would tell your son with no kids to go date a woman with no kids. Knowing the drama you got with your baby daddy. You would tell your son. Then you hate him. You should go ahead right now, pack his bags up and take him over to his daddy and say, I ain't fit to raise a boy. There's no way you would want your son to have that. There are more options in this planet. You don't have to settle. There's no shortage on used retread tires. No shortage. That being said, I need y'all to tune in next week. Tell a few friends. Man, I didn't even show my clip. But, again, thank you all. We crossed over 1,000. And one day we're going to be at 1 million having this conversation. Be like, man, I was there in the beginning. I need your support. Need your support. And it's not even just financial. Man, tell a few friends. Be like, look, I caught this brother online. The show is real. The man gives us statistics. And it's all based on, this show is about love. Bringing people together. And letting women understand, like this, stop listening to these Pied Pipers of feminism telling you everything you want to hear. That's not even of God. That ain't natural, what you asking people to do. That ain't normal. I'm saying let's go ahead and be that for one another. But understand where we're coming from as men. It's a lot you asking, and you don't have to do anything. But I got to come in with all of this. But a guy, Tyler Perry, got dragged saying, you know, what's wrong with average Joe? Average black man, average white man, average man. Dude that makes 50 grand a year probably love the heck out of you, girl. But you complaining. You left for 20% when you had 80% at home. Because every time you talk to some of these women, and I swear, baby mamas, half the time I'm dragging them. I'm just like, you know what, skid my balls against their forehead and keep it moving. Because I'm like, there's no way she could answer just those 20 questions in the affirmative. They can't. They're so caught up in feminism and hatred of men. They hate men, they want to be men. And then in court, they know they're wrong, but they still push it. They'll call the police on you to kill you. They're so mad at you. So that being said, tune in next week. Toxic Reality Show. I don't know the topic, but we're going to bring the heat again. Trust and believe we're going to bring the heat. Black Wall Street, love the show. What's up, fam? Thank you. Take them to 1 million, amen? Because then I could do this full time. It'd be nothing but, excuse me, facts, information, calling in specialists to speak. I'm going to go ahead and do the show again about the lady. They got a book called Your Brain on birth control. And it ties in, as a matter of fact, I think we're going to talk about that next week. It ties in this whole mantra of women saying they want men to be emotionally available, and it's because of the birth control pills. You know, 40, 50 years ago, the Marlboro Man and Apollo Creed was the symbolism of masculinity and manliness. Now, you got some nerdy looking dude with glasses on wearing tight pants, and that's what the women think is masculine. Women are wearing baggy jeans and men are wearing tight jeans now. Completely different topic. Don't let me get started. But we're going to cut. Please tell some of your friends, share the link, tell them to tune in. Watch the show every Sunday at 7 p.m. East Coast. What's up to my family in Africa that's been tuning in and getting up strong? But please share. Let's get these numbers up. It's good information. It's quality information. And I pray to God it saves your life or somebody you know needs to hear this. Is it really worth the risk? And that's the question we're asking. I'm not saying you don't love the girl, but is she worth the risk? And how have you verified and qualified her beyond a big button, a smile? Because as Belle Biv DeVoe said, that girl is poison. We out.